chapter 118 to 120. Wow! That combined warrior from the 7th universe is amazing! Zeno exclaimed, looking at Gogeta with excitement. This fight was truly thrilling, and every participant was performing remarkably well. The fusion skill was especially impressive, transforming the seriously injured Goku and Vegeta into a formidable warrior in the blink of an eye. That's right, Zeno-sama, the Grand Priest agreed with a smile. The contestants of the 7th universe are truly surprising. Despite not paying much attention to them over the years, it turns out there are many strong mortals among them. This is a very good sign. The Grand Priest noted that both Goten and the current fused fighters were exceptionally powerful, even by the standards of the universes with high mortal rankings. It seemed that the Tournament of Power would result in some changes in the universe rankings. Great, Goku and Vegeta! Come on, kill that hit from the 6th universe for me! Beerus shouted excitedly. The power of the combined Gogeta had him thrilled. Earlier worries seemed completely unfounded now. With fusion, Goku and Vegeta's power was second only to Goten and Jiren. Neither Hit, the strongest assassin of the 6th universe, nor Hakaishin Toppo of the 11th universe could match them. Come on, Goku! Piccolo cheered. Go! Dad! Young Trunks joined in, both of them excited. Even in the other world, they had never witnessed the fusion of Goku and Vegeta. Now that they finally saw it, they were amazed by its power. Tch, damn, Beerus, using such a shameless tactic, detestable! Champa cursed loudly, his face ugly, as he realized Hit's attacks had no effect on Gogeta. Glancing at the elated Beerus, he felt even more frustrated. Champa-sama, what you say is a bit too unfair, Vados reminded him. Isn't our 6th universe planning to fuse Caulifla and Kale? In this way, it's actually very fair. Champa cursed again, feeling like an ant on a hot pan. Once Hit was eliminated, their chances of winning were slim. Even if Caulifla and Kale fused, they couldn't match the fused fighter from the 7th universe. Gogeta's strength far surpassed Caulifla's, and this gap wouldn't change much after fusion. At that moment, Hit stabilized his body and wiped the bruises from his face, feeling dizzy. Gogeta's punch had caused significant damage. Damn, this guy is too strong, Hit muttered with a serious face. Under Vados's training, he had mastered another skill that could deal with much stronger opponents, but it consumed a lot of physical energy. Originally, he planned to use it against Goten, but now he had no choice but to use it against Gogeta. Hey, use whatever ability you have. Don't waste my time, Gogeta said lightly, sensing that Hit had some strange moves. He wanted to test them, defeat Hit, and then deal with Hakaishin Toppo. Don't get too carried away, Hit glowered, aiming both hands directly at Gogeta. Time freeze! Time prison! In an instant, the space around Gogeta changed completely. He seemed locked in a purple space, surrounded by what looked like purple mirrors. His body suddenly felt extremely heavy, making it difficult to move. What? What kind of trick is this? My body feels out of control. Gogeta's expression changed slightly. He didn't expect Hit to have such an ability, as if time had stood still. His body was completely immobile. Hit, sweating profusely, had used his final trump card, Time Prison. This ability could freeze the time around his opponent, almost putting them in a relatively static state. Although it could control much stronger opponents, it consumed a lot of his energy. Now he had to eliminate Gogeta instantly, or he would be the one to be eliminated. Next, I will get rid of you in an instant. Hit gritted his teeth and freed up a hand, instantly condensing an energy ball in his palm. He just needed to hit Gogeta with this condensed ball of energy to ensure his victory. Whoa, that's great, Hit! Hurry up and get rid of those detestable guys from the 7th universe! Champa shouted happily, excited to see Hit trap Gogeta. He had underestimated Hit's abilities, but now he felt reassured. On the other hand, Beerus's complexion turned ugly. He had thought Gogeta would quickly defeat Hit, but now the situation seemed dire. Being trapped in time prison was very dangerous. Gogeta, however, didn't panic. His face remained calm. Despite being restrained, he took a step forward, causing the purple halo around him to tremble. What? Impossible! Absolutely impossible! Hit's face changed suddenly as Gogeta moved under the shackles of time prison. He underestimated Gogeta's strength, realizing that Gogeta's resistance was intensifying. Gogeta gritted his teeth and took another step forward. "Your elaborate tricks are useless in the face of real power," he said calmly, approaching Hit step by step. Da. No! Impossible! Hit was completely dumbfounded. He knew that if his trump card couldn't deal with Gogeta, he would be eliminated soon. Click! In the next second, a crisp sound echoed as the time prison around Gogeta collapsed instantly. The purple halo disappeared, and Hit was pushed back several thousand feet, sweating profusely. "You're done," Gogeta said coldly, appearing in front of Hit like a ghost. A merciless punch hit Hit's lower abdomen. Wah! Hit spat out a mouthful of blood as his body was sent flying out of the ring. Champa, who had been excited, suddenly turned pale. "It's over. It's over," he murmured in a daze, realizing that their sixth universe was hopeless this time. Even if Hit defeated Gogeta, he would be no match for Goten and Jiren in the end. After eliminating Hit, Gogeta didn't rush to fight Toppo. Trunks and Gohan were handling him for now. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Gogeta easily eliminated everyone else in the 11th universe. The 11th universe was a difficult opponent, but the rule of victory was that the universe with the most participants remaining in the ring at the end of the tournament would win. By eliminating other participants, the 7th universe could ensure their victory even if Jiren defeated Goten. As long as 2 participants from the 7th universe remained, they would win. At this time, the battle between the two sides was very fierce. Toppo, who had abandoned justice to become a Hakaishin, was stronger than Trunks. As for Gohan, he was just at the level of Super Saiyan God and couldn't help much at all. Eventually, he was completely suppressed by Toppo. Toppo's destructive power was incredibly difficult to deal with. All the energy attacks from Gohan and Trunks were useless against him. As soon as they touched Toppo's body, they would disappear. This situation drained a lot of their physical energy without causing any damage to Toppo. "I have to say, you guys are really tough, but now you should return to the audience stands," Toppo said to Trunks, instantly condensing a huge destructive energy blast and aiming it at him. Seeing this, Trunks' face became serious. He feared Toppo's destructive energy the most. Without it, the outcome of their battle would be uncertain. "Bring it on. It's not that easy to get rid of me." Trunks clenched his teeth and began to gather energy in his hands. Although he knew it couldn't compete with destructive energy, he had no choice. If he took it with his body, he would definitely be eliminated. At the moment when Trunks condensed energy, a hand was placed on his shoulder. "Well done, Trunks, you did great. Leave it to me next," said the combined voice of Goku and Vegeta. Trunks turned quickly to look and his face lit up with excitement. "Dad! Goku! You guys fused, that's great!" he exclaimed in surprise and obediently retreated. He could feel the immense power of Vegeta and Goku after their fusion, knowing they had become incredibly powerful. The corner of Gogeta's mouth twitched. His body flashed as blue energy gathered on his feet, and he kicked heavily at the huge destructive energy. The moment the blue divine energy collided, the destructive energy was kicked out by Gogeta and blasted directly at Toppo. "What? How did he do that?" Toppo panicked. Gogeta touched his destructive ability but wasn't destroyed. Instead, he rebounded the destructive energy, which shocked Toppo greatly. "Hakai!" He immediately condensed destructive energy again. The moment the two destructive energies collided, they turned into purple light spots and disappeared without a trace. Just as the two destructive energies canceled each other out, Gogeta's body appeared in front of Toppo. "You a waste, who can't even hold on to your own justice and pride. I'll tell you right now, even if you become the so-called Hakaishin, you are still weak and pitiful. It's impossible for someone who can't stick to their own justice and pride to defeat me." Gogeta's voice, controlled by Vegeta at the moment, was filled with haughtiness. This was what Vegeta most wanted to say to Toppo. "Don't lecture me here, you villain!" "Hakai!" Toppo roared, quickly condensing destructive energy. But before he could raise his palm, Gogeta's fist landed heavily on his face. Boom! The heavy punch distorted half of Toppo's face, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. His body hit the ground heavily, bouncing back 5 or 6 times, and a long ravine was drawn on the ground. "How can this be? I am Hakaishin Toppo. How could I lose to you?" Feeling the burning pain on his face, Toppo flew into a rage. After abandoning the justice he had insisted on for so long and assuming the form of Hakaishin, he was kicked away by Gogeta. It was completely unacceptable to him. Whoosh! Gogeta's body appeared again. Without hesitation, he punched Toppo hard in the chest. Rumble! The entire ring was in turmoil, and the ground began to collapse rapidly. With Toppo at the center, the wave-like circle spread in all directions. Toppo's chest also collapsed a bit. "Damn! Damn it!" Toppo roared, just about to condense energy and destroy again. Gogeta directly grabbed his palm with one hand, which was about to condense energy, and covered his mouth with the other hand, making him unable to say anything. "Hey, is this the so-called Hakaishin? It's really rubbish, it's so weak." After the voice of disdain fell, Gogeta's palm gathered energy again. Rumble! The ground trembled violently again. The entire arena split into 2 under the powerful explosion wave. Toppo's face changed, and his ki wilted instantly. The mark of Hakaishin on his chest disappeared, and he fell into a trance, clearly lacking the will to fight. Despite sacrificing his own justice to achieve a breakthrough and temporarily becoming a Hakaishin, Toppo was still far from being a real Hakaishin. Facing Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta was an impossible dream in this form. Gogeta grabbed Toppo and casually threw him out of the ring like a toy. Damn it, how could this happen? Toppo became a Hakaishin, how could he lose to those 2 bastards from the 7th universe? Belmod's face turned ugly as he saw Toppo thrown out of the ring. In their 11th universe, besides Jiren, Toppo's Hakaishin form was their final trump card. To see Toppo defeated so easily was a slap in the face for their universe. "Yo, Belmod, why is your universe's Hakaishin candidate so weak?" Beerus taunted without any scruples. "Mortal beings as Hakaishin candidates make your universe's strength seem ridiculously weak. It's really embarrassing to be beaten so badly after becoming Hakaishin." Belmod, gritting his teeth, shot back. "Stop getting carried away, Beerus. Although Toppo was defeated, Jiren is unbeatable. The final result won't change. Your 7th universe will soon disappear." "Yeah? Then let's wait and see," Beerus responded confidently, having absolute faith in Goten. But in the ring, the situation wasn't looking good for Universe 7. They had only lost Piccolo and young Trunks so far, but Goten was at a clear disadvantage against Jiren. If Goten lost, Universe 7 would have no chance, as Jiren was incredibly strong. Boom! Jiren's iron fist struck Goten's face hard, blasting him away and continuously destroying the entire arena. Huge boulders, once part of the complete arena, now floated in the null realm under the violent shockwave. After a long fight, Goten's ki dropped. Despite having Majin Buu's cells and an immortal body, his physical state showed small problems after such intense fighting. Jiren's attacks were just too strong. Whoosh! After punching Goten away, Jiren quickly approached him. "You'd better give up. You can never defeat me," Jiren said confidently. Even after fighting for so long, he hadn't shown his true strength. Goten was undeniably strong to persist, and his physical endurance was amazing. Despite being hit countless times, He wasn't injured and seemed to grow stronger each time. "The fight isn't over yet. Isn't it too soon to be so conceited?" Goten smiled faintly, feeling a steady stream of power growing inside him. Each recovery from injury only made him stronger. "Stubborn, huh? In that case, I'll get rid of you completely." Jiren's tone remained indifferent. As soon as he finished speaking, his fists clenched tightly. Flame-like ki aura instantly surrounded his body, and an intensely scorching airwave spread across the entire arena. Most of the contestants chose to leave the ring voluntarily, unable to bear the pressure and heat. As a result, the number of participants in the arena dwindled. "Wow, it's amazing! It's amazing!" Zeno said excitedly. "Jiren from the 11th universe has become even stronger. I can feel his aura all the way from here. I don't know if Goten can resist it." Zeno had thought Jiren had unleashed all his power, but now it was clear that he hadn't. The power Jiren erupted with now was much stronger than before. "It's truly incredible," Grand Priest nodded in agreement. "Zeno-sama, if there are no accidents, Goten from the 7th universe should be eliminated soon. Although his growth rate is indeed impressive, Jiren obviously doesn't intend to give him a chance to continue growing. From the beginning of the battle, Grand Priest had believed Jiren would win. The gap in strength between Jiren and Goten was too large, and unless Goten had a significant breakthrough, it was impossible for him to catch up. "I'm really looking forward to it," Zeno continued, expressing his excitement. For him, it didn't matter who won as long as the fight was interesting. Before the fight, he had discussed the end results of the Tournament of Power with Grand Priest. If the winning universe used the Super Shenron's wish to revive the other universes that were erased, Zeno would let those 8 universes continue to exist. But if the wish was selfish and didn't revive the other universes, those 8 universes would be permanently erased. Managing 12 universes had been too troublesome for him, and universes with low mortal levels didn't need to exist. "Yes, I'm curious to see if Goten can make a breakthrough at the last moment," Grand Priest said. Although he had been more optimistic about Jiren, the outcome of the fight was still undecided. In the ring, Jiren's fully unleashed strength was terrifying, even surprising Goten. After the fusion, Jiren was absurdly strong. Even as a legendary Super Saiyan 2, Goten couldn't match him. There was only one way to defeat Jiren now. Goten had to break through to Super Saiyan 4. But Goten worried whether he could control his sanity after becoming a great ape. If he couldn't, the entire arena could be destroyed, and if other universe participants were killed, the 7th universe would be wiped out on the spot. That was not the outcome he wanted. As Goten pondered, Jiren appeared in front of him, his speed and strength significantly improved. Jiren began his relentless attack. Bang! 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 Jiren's fists rained down on Goten's body like dense raindrops. Bang! 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 Soon, countless fist marks appeared on Goten, and his body began to deform rapidly. However, these attacks did little damage to Goten, who had Majin Buu cells and immortality. Killing him was impossible. Of course, Jiren didn't need to kill him. He just needed to throw him out of the ring to win the battle. Boom! Another punch to Goten's face sent his body falling like a meteorite. Boom! 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 One boulder after another shattered as Goten's body crashed through them, finally landing on the bottom boulder. Now all it would take was one final attack from Jiren to end it for good. The audience from the 7th universe, including all the participants in the ring, wore ugly expressions. The fused fighter from the 11th universe was so powerful that even Goten was easily defeated. Was their 7th universe really going to be erased today? Goten, this time it's over. You were a very admirable contestant. If there's another chance in the future, I hope to fight you again under fair conditions, Jiren said seriously. He had won the battle but needed to revive his master. If there was a chance in the future, he wanted a fair fight with Goten. TN. What another chance? He gonna be erased if he dies. He began to condense a crimson energy blast, enough to eliminate Goten completely. With nowhere else to stand, once the platform under Goten's feet was destroyed, he would be out. Goten stood up, determination in his eyes. It seemed impossible to defeat Jiren without transforming into Super Saiyan of 4. This was the only chance for the 7th universe, and for all universes. Goten's palm immediately condensed a cloud of silver-white energy, which he threw into the air. "Although I don't know what you're planning, I won't give you the chance," Jiren said, uneasy about Goten's strange movements. He blasted energy towards Goten. Whoosh! Suddenly, a ki blast intercepted Jiren's attack. Rumble! A violent explosion ensued as the two energies collided. "What?" Jiren's face changed, not expecting interference at the last moment. He turned and saw Gogeta. "Hey, big-eyed monster, let me be your opponent next." Gogeta waved to Jiren, a confident smile on his face. Gogeta knew he couldn't defeat Jiren with all his strength, but he had no choice. He needed to buy Goten some time. "Heh, you overestimate yourself." Jiren snorted coldly, clearly dismissing Gogeta. He knew the opponent was also a fused fighter, but it was a fusion using a technique, not Patara earrings. More importantly, the gods had mentioned that with Kaioshin's Patara earrings, fusion with the same person would expand power infinitely. Even if two different people fused, the fighting power wouldn't be as strong as merging the same person. Moreover, Goku and Vegeta's strength before the fusion was far behind his own, and merging didn't close the gap significantly. "Then let's get rid of you first," Jiren said, rushing directly at Gogeta and throwing a punch. Seeing Jiren's speed and strength, Gogeta didn't think about counterattacking, but immediately raised his arms to block. Boom! The power of the punch sent Gogeta's body flying. Boom! 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 As Gogeta's body was blasted away, boulders exploded one after another. Despite the pain in his arms, Gogeta resisted and kept blasting energy balls at Jiren. However, Jiren ignored the energy balls and rushed towards Gogeta in a destructive posture. Rumble! The energy balls exploded continuously, but Jiren reached Gogeta in moments and threw another punch. Gogeta quickly raised his arms to defend. Boom! This punch was stronger than before. The moment it hit, a silver light beam appeared on Gogeta's body and Goku and Vegeta quickly separated. The powerful force knocked them out of the ring. "Sorry, Goten. This guy is simply a monster. We can't stop him at all. Next, it's up to you," Goku thought, looking helplessly in Goten's direction as he and Vegeta exited the ring. Despite the brief confrontation, they had bought Goten some time. Goten looked at the silver-white light cluster in the sky, and a scarlet light suddenly shot out from his eyes. Ba-dump! His chest began to heave violently, and the heartbeat sounded like a drum, vibrating throughout the null realm. Everyone turned to where the heartbeat was coming from. Thump, thump, thump! The heartbeat grew faster and louder, and Goten's expression began to shift. "What? That guy? Does he have a more powerful form?" Jiren wondered, clearly surprised. Seeing Goten's fierce expression, Jiren's face changed slightly. It seemed he had to eliminate Goten completely. Zeno and Grand Priest watched eagerly. "I don't know what form Goten will evolve into." "Whis, what's going on with Goten? He looks like he can't control his sanity." "Is he trying to transform into a higher form?" Beerus asked, observing the situation in the ring. The clear heartbeat echoed in the null realm, and it felt like Goten was about to turn into a beast, his sanity eroding bit by bit. If he lost his sanity, no matter how powerful he was, this fight would become very dangerous. Even if he could persist until the end, someone might get killed, and the 7th universe would face the crisis of being wiped out. "I don't know, Beerus-sama. I don't know if Goten has a higher form of transformation, but judging by the current situation, it doesn't look good," Whis said seriously. Goten's strength had improved too quickly, and Whis had no idea how strong he really was. If Goten broke through again, he might reach the level of an angel. "Hey, do you two know what's going on with Goten?" Beerus asked Vegeta and Goku, hoping they, as Saiyans, might understand Goten's plans. "I don't know either, Beerus-sama," Goku replied. The scene felt familiar to him. but he couldn't remember why. Could it be... Vegeta's expression changed suddenly as if he remembered something. "What's going on, Vegeta? Don't you know?" Beerus pressed, seeing Vegeta's reaction. "Could Goten be planning to take the form of a great ape?" Vegeta voiced his suspicion in horror. The silver-white energy Goten had released looked exactly like the artificial moon Vegeta had once created, and Goten's tail had grown back. With Jiren so powerful, this might be Goten's last resort, but it seemed naive because modern Saiyan transformations had far surpassed the great ape form, which only increased strength tenfold. This seemed like a short-sighted move. It seems true. Vegeta, I remember when you and I first fought, you did the same thing and turned into a giant ape. But why would Goten change into that form when he can become a Super Saiyan? Goku wondered, puzzled. Super Saiyan transformations were much more powerful than the great ape form. Goten's current limit was Super Saiyan 2, so abandoning that for the great ape form made no sense. Great ape form? Is it strong? Beerus asked. No, compared to the Super Saiyan form, the great ape form isn't strong at all. If Goten turns into a great ape, he might lose his mind and become a monster who can only destroy. It's a really bad decision, Vegeta said with a frown. As a low-class Saiyan, Kakarot couldn't control his sanity after becoming a great ape, and as his son, Goten, likely wouldn't be able to control his sanity either. This would make the situation worse. How could this happen? Has Goten been driven out of his mind by that guy from the 11th universe? Beerus frowned. Goten was their only hope for the 7th universe. If he lost his mind, they might be eliminated soon. Beerus-sama, I think it's better not to worry too much. Although Jiren from the 11th universe is really strong, he hasn't done much damage to Goten, and I don't believe Goten, who has always been calm, would do something stupid. Let's keep watching. Maybe he has other plans, Whis suggested. Seeing Beerus's frown, Whis immediately spoke up. Although he didn't know Goten's ultimate purpose, with his knowledge of Goten, he was confident Goten wouldn't do something stupid. Beerus didn't speak anymore and kept his eyes on Goten and the others in the ring. He hoped Whis was right and Goten hadn't lost his mind because of the possibility of defeat. Thump, 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 roar! With each faster heartbeat, a painful sound came from Goten's throat, and his body began to change little by little. Visible brown hair appeared on his face, and his facial features started to shift. Others might not know what Goten was planning, but Trunks understood perfectly. Is Goten finally going to become Super Saiyan full? It's great. I don't know what level his strength will reach after becoming Super Saiyan full, Trunks said to himself in great surprise. He had looked forward to Goten becoming Super Saiyan 4 since their time on Kaioshin's planet. But Goten had no such plans back then. Now it seemed Goten was ready. Jiren could feel the uneasiness in his heart growing stronger and stronger. Damn! Feeling uneasy. It looks like that guy is breaking through. I will not allow this to happen. As Jiren prepared to move, Trunks, Krillin, Majin Buu, and Android number 21 appeared in front of him. They had one goal: buy time for Goten to complete his transformation. Go away! Do you intend to block me? Jiren yelled. No, but if you want us to leave, use your strength, Trunks replied without fear. They had to hold out until Goten completed his transformation. Whoosh! Krillin jumped high, bringing his hands to his forehead. 100 times solar flare! He cast the 100 times solar flare, knowing he couldn't be Jiren's opponent in battle. At least the solar flare could buy some time. In an instant, the dazzling light covered the entire arena. Jiren blocked his view with his arms, and even the Hakaishin in the audience were temporarily blinded. What? What's going on? All Hakaishin and Kaioshin blocked their eyes. They hadn't expected mere mortals to have such an outrageous ability. Wow! Dazzling light! Isn't Krillin from the 7th universe too powerful? Zeno was excited, though the light had no effect on him. Grand Priest also remained calm. Indeed, with this ability even the Hakaishin will be temporarily blinded. It's amazing. Grand Priest replied with a nod. It was commendable for a mortal to have such an ability, though it could only hold back the opponent and had no real influence on Jiren. Krillin's plan worked perfectly. From the beginning, he never thought of defeating Jiren. Helping Goten by buying time was his goal. Final flash. Kamehameha! Ha! At the moment Krillin cast the solar flare, Trunks, Gohan, and others launched their ki blasts with all their strength. Swish! Rustle! A dark red aura suddenly surrounded Jiren, and Krillin's solar flare lost its power. Trunks, Gohan, and the others' ki blasts did no harm to Jiren. He took them head-on and walked towards them evenly. That guy, what a monster! Everyone grimaced. They couldn't believe he shrugged off the ki blasts of 5 fighters simultaneously and kept moving forward as if they were nothing. Ha! A beast-like roar suddenly echoed from the ring. The other contestants looked towards the sound and saw a mountain-like body. A giant ape! That guy seems to be the mortal from the 7th universe. How did he suddenly turn into a giant ape? The surviving contestants were shocked. Goten had transformed, becoming as big as a mountain, dwarfing the other contestants like small bugs in comparison. So big. Goten is about to succeed, Trunks said, delighted. He knew that after becoming a great ape, Goten would soon transform into Super Saiyan 4. Trunks was more familiar with this process than anyone else. From the 7th universe audience stands, the old Kai exclaimed, I see. That kid Goten wants to become Super Saiyan 4 just like Trunks did. After seeing Goten in the form of a great ape, the old Kai immediately cried out in surprise. Goten had used this method before to help Trunks break through his own limit and become Super Saiyan 4, and now Goten was doing the same. Yes, Gosen Zo-sama, it's exactly like when Trunks turned into a giant ape, Shin said excitedly. After Trunks became Super Saiyan 4, his power skyrocketed. If Goten could achieve the same transformation, his strength would certainly increase dramatically. Maybe Jiren from the 11th universe would be no match for him. Hearing the conversation between the old Kai and Shin, Beerus and Goku were quite surprised. The transformation method for Super Saiyan 4 was revealed, and they eagerly awaited Goten's transformation, curious about how powerful he would become. At this moment, Jiren had defeated Trunks and the others decisively. Goten's scarlet eyes gradually returned to normal, and a vibrant green ki aura began to swirl around his body. As the aura grew more turbulent, a huge green light ball soon formed and enveloped Goten. Powerful ki was released instantly, causing the expressions of all the Hakaishin and angels to change. The angels looked horrified as they sensed Goten's rapidly rising strength, surpassing the level of Hakaishin and approaching angel level at an alarming speed. It's unbelievable. The strength of Goten from the 7th universe is already close to that of an angel, and he's still getting stronger. That guy actually has such a terrifying talent, Vados said, astonished by the huge green light ball on the ring. Power beyond angel had never been seen before in the universe. This was outrageous. Goten's current power was no longer something Jiren could resist. Jiren, get rid of that guy. Don't give him a chance. If this continues, we will lose, Belmod shouted to Jiren on the ring, forgetting to use the sound transmission technique. Margarita replied, It's useless, dear. Jiren has lost his prime offensive moment. Goten's current strength has reached Angel's level, and Jiren simply can't compete with that. Jiren felt the immense power and sense of oppression. Damn it! I could have easily eliminated him. But now, it was too late. Clenching his fists, Jiren released all his strength and punched the vibrant green energy ball out of thin air. Boom! The energy ball bounced back instantly, and the green energy barrier began to dim. Goten was highly anticipated. All the gods and contestants watched him, eager to see what level he had reached. As the vibrant green energy dissipated, Goten's figure appeared. What? That looked like Trunks. It's really a transformation of Super Saiyan 4, Beerus cried out excitedly upon seeing Goten.